for having me.
Excellent. So I'm going to ask you a few questions. It shouldn't take that long, but how I want you to answer, if I say, what was the first time you blah, 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 blah. I want you to answer with a little bit of the question in there. So you'll say, the first time I,
Okay.
Okay.
I'll try to remember that.
Okay. All right. If not, we'll stop you there.
Okay.
Okay. Once again, give us your name and where you're from.
Rachel Parker, Van Wert, Ohio.
Okay. And what was your child's name?
Hannah. Her name was Hannah.
Her name was Hannah?
Yes.
Okay. And take us back to the moment that you realized something was going on with Hannah's health.
The moment I realized something was wrong, she had been complaining of a lot of pain in her hip and her leg. She was misdiagnosed for several months before they finally did a chest x-ray because she had a cough that wouldn't go away. And they thought it was pneumonia, and then that's when they found the metastases in her lungs.
And what is the medical terminology for what she had?
Ewings sarcoma.
Okay, say it one more time, say that she had.
Sorry. She had Ewings sarcoma.
Okay. And what was her age?
She was 15. Yes.
So where were you and what were you doing when you first got the diagnosis?
I was at work. I just gotten there. They had done the chest x-ray the day before and they were reading it. So they called me at work and told me I needed to come over to the office because they wanted to discuss the results with me.
And give me about 2 words to describe what you felt like during that encounter.
Sucker punched. Devastated. Shocked. Lots of words.
And how did your life change as a mother?
Life turned upside down and she was my only child, so everything was already about her. But I had to forget about literally everything else in my life and just completely focus on her and trying to figure out how we were going to save her.
And how big is your family?
She's my only child. It's just me, and I'm married now, but it was just me and her.
And
So.
what did you do? What do you do for a living?
I work in a pharmacy, technician.
One of the biggest challenges in something that family addresses is resources.
Mm-hmm.
Talk a little bit about the economic impact of having this diagnosis and dealing with this, dealing with the child back when you started, let's say, the economic impact of having a child.
The economic impact of having a child getting diagnosed with cancer is, it ruins families. We got kind of lucky. We had some friends that helped us out quite a bit. But it's still, even to this day, she's been gone 5.5 years and it's still financially a struggle. So it doesn't really end.
It's a long-term effect.
Yes.
Opposed to other demographics, let's say breast cancer or prostate cancer or something like that, talk a little bit about, in your opinion, your experience, the difference between a child going through this and maybe an adult going through this.
The big difference between a child going through treatment and an adult going through treatment is that I think that kids are often ignored, and there's just a lot of advancements that have been made with adult cancers, but not kids' cancers. And that's just, I feel that they get ignored. I don't know if it's because it's not something that people want to see or they want to acknowledge. But it's easier to think about adults having cancer than it is kids.
So do you have a feeling how does that impact research? Things like that?
I mean, breast cancer and stuff like that they get most of the light that, the kids don't get a lot of light. So, they don't get a lot of funding unless it's from, organizations and things like that. I don't know, you've probably heard from others that they only receive about 4% of the National Cancer Institute's budget. So that's very little for as many kids that are out there that are suffering.
Right. So let's move on to, where were you and what were you doing the moment you heard about FAM?
I first heard about FAM, actually, it was on Facebook through, it's kind of a friend of a friend, my daughter's teacher, kind of a complicated situation, but that's where I that's where I met Milk. And I've been following him for a while and seeing what he's been doing, with FAM and getting it started and all that stuff, and I knew I wanted to be involved in it.
You put out a very, very powerful video that has touched a lot of lives. Talk a little bit about that. What prompted you to do that? Tell us what you did and what prompted you to do that.
So Milk was making the video for the fan page, and he was asking, for people to make short videos so he can put a video together. And I thought, I want to keep Hannah's name out there, and so she doesn't get forgotten or anything. So I made the video and I sent it to him, and he told me how much he appreciated it, and anything that I can do to get this, get the kids noticed and keep Hannah's name out there.
Excellent. How has FAM impacted your life?
Oh, it is pretty much my life at this point. I volunteer with I do what I can to help, but I've met a lot of people, followed a lot of stories, other kids and other families and things like that. It's a pretty powerful movement from what I've been volunteering since May.
Tell me, has FAM ever been there for you in the clutch? Has FAM helped you out with anything?
Yeah, I was actually one of the, they had for their December, the Christmas giveaways, they did the bereavement. There was Christmas Eve, there was a bereavement giveaway, and they gifted me with $1,000 that night, which helped tremendously. But other than just the constant support and love and everything, that's huge.
Excellent. Tell me one thing, just one thing, I'm sure there may be one thing you wish you'd known at the beginning of your journey with Hannah that would have helped you out.
In the beginning, it would have been helpful, I think, if I would have pushed a little harder so she didn't get misdiagnosed. That's another thing I think that happens is doctors don't often think, cancer or something like that. They often think, because Hannah was a teenager, they think growing pains, or, which is what they said, sciatica, growing pains. So I wish that I would have pushed a little harder in that direction to get the doctor to actually listen a little better.
So parent to parent, there was just something you could throw out there, like maybe somebody that was, they're just now beginning their journey, what's something that you would say?
Ask a lot of questions. Question everything. Why are they doing certain things? What can you do to, you know, to help and just kind of educate yourself with the whole process? And I mean, it's a whirlwind, and once it starts, it's like it's nonstop. You're in a tornado, but eventually it hopefully will calm down.
Let's talk about Hannah just a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Tell me something that makes you smile when you think about it.
She was kind of weird. She was a goofball. She had a really loud laugh. She had a big personality. And she loved cats. She swore she was going to be a crazy cat lady when she got older. So that was kind of her goal. And keeping his legacy alive, and I just remembering that she was here and that she existed, and no parent who loses their child wants their kid to be forgotten. So that's mainly, I just want people to remember that she was here and that she made a big impact on her friends and her family.
Very good. And just a few more. Learning. What have you learned?
I don't know. I feel like I've learned a lot, but at the same time I feel really stupid about everything. Because, you know, it just all happens so fast. And we were only in, you know, she fought for 7 months, which felt like an eternity. But, I don't know, that's a hard,
Okay, that's good.
hard one.
That's good. That's good. Let's go to our wonderful founder, Milk. What was your first impression of Milk? What did you think? My first impression of Milk.
Yeah, my first impression of Milk was that he was a little tenacious, a little loud and crazy and kind of out there. But I think that's important,
Yeah.
especially for this.
Yeah. That leads me to another question. How does it feel to have someone, you know, like that, making sure that people pay attention?
I think it's very important to have somebody like that. Somebody that people will pay attention to, that he can, you know, grab people's attention and make people focus on what's important, and it's the kids.
Now, Milk's tattoos and his edgy style, certainly different. Can put a lot of people off, and people, you know, first impression, like, I don't even know what's going on with this. What would you say to the people that don't know Milk and that haven't gotten a chance to interact with him? What would you say to them?
To the people that don't know Milk and that don't understand him, he's a giant teddy bear, and he will fight for anybody. He's a good person, regardless of how people perceive him. He's a good guy.
And anything you want to say to Milk?
Thank you. I'm glad that Milk has included me, has let me be part of this. It's become a big part of my life, and I'm very thankful.
Excellent. So the name of this, we are calling this Fam for Life, because you know we have the whole bad boy thing going,
Yeah.
the bad boy thing. But the theme, another underlying theme is that the things that you do for life, the thing that you did for life, Hannah did for life, the dancing, the smiling for life. Sometimes you just believe for life. You know, you just keep going for life. So a few phrases that you think could go in front of that statement and just say whatever for life, you know, laughing for life, things that you do for life.
Oh my gosh. I'm on the spot.
Take that.
I'm drawing a total blank.
Okay. Think about Hannah. What did she do for life? The things that she did to hold on to who she was.
Love for life. Fight for life. And laugh for life. Yeah, definitely. Those were. Yeah.
I would like you to say one thing. I would like you to say remember for life.
Remember for life.
Very good. Thank you. We're done.
All right. Good.
Excellent. Thank you.